Welcome back everybody to Money Matters, and what I want to be specifically speaking about is why I think you should do rent to rent and why rent to rent is by far one of the most popular and best ways to generate cash flow in the property market just now. So let's kick off with the cash, because let's not lie. We're all doing this for the money, and doing it for the money might be free time or to be doing it for your family, whatever that may be, but we're doing it for the money, so we need to be able to make money. The money you can generate from running a rent-to-rent service department business, if you do it correctly, is phenomenal. On average, if you say that each apartment makes between £800 to £1,200 a month, so for easy figures, let's say £1,000. If each apartment or house, or let's use easy terminology, service department runs every month, you're going to generate roughly £1,000. Now, the average salary in the UK just now is £27,000. So let's say you went and got 3 apartments, which should take you maybe a month and a half to 2 months. That's £36,000 per year from 3 apartments. And the average salary in the United Kingdom is £27,000 to £28,000. Within a month and a half to 2 months, you could have a business that is generating you more than the average salary in the United Kingdom. Now, the cash in it is phenomenal. I've been doing it for 3 years. The cash and money you can make is phenomenal. But you need to make sure you do a lot of other things correctly. Pick the right area, do the right analysis, pick the right property. So you don't just go and pick a random apartment, put it in Airbnb, and you're going to start making £1,000 a month. It doesn't work like that, okay? You need to make sure you do everything beforehand before you start earning that £1,000 a month. But that's where we can obviously help. So the cash is a phenomenal reason to get into it. But the other reason to get into it is it's quick cash. So let me explain. How long would it take you to go and convert let's say a commercial building to residential? Because you're going to make phenomenal money from that. But the time that you find it, the time that you run the figures, the time that you get the finance, the time that you do the development, and the time that you sell could be a 9 to 12 month process. With rent to rent, if you do it correctly and you know how to, you can go and get 2 to 3 apartments per month, if you wish to, and you're focusing solely on that. So for people that are looking for money, but they're wanting it quick, this is a phenomenal way to do it. And the general people that I work with are, most of the time, they're looking to get out of their job. And they wanted to do that as fast as possible. And the reason, or the way that you can get service departments and rent to rent really quickly means that you're able to leave your job on a lot faster timescale. So why else get involved in rent to rent? Why else is that a really good strategy? It doesn't cost a lot of money to get involved in. In some cases, it doesn't cost any money to get involved in. So let me explain. I never, and I mean I never, pay a deposit for an apartment. Never. Total deal breaker. If I had 37 apartments, let's use easy figures and say that they all cost me £1,000 deposit. That's £37,000 tied up in a landlord's pocket doing nothing for me. It makes no sense. So I never pay a deposit to a landlord. And number 2, I never pay rent up front. Ever. I always get 2 months rent-free period. So what does that mean to me? That means that I've actually had money from my bookings in my bank account before I have to pay the landlord anything. So my business has got positive cash flow. And how much does it take to set up a service department? Well, different ways to do it. I've had some service departments that I've taken and it's cost me nothing to set up because they've came furnished and ready to go into the market. There's other apartments that takes me roughly, or cost me, sorry, roughly about £3,000 to £5,000. Now, you think, Gordie, I just don't have £3,000 to £5,000. But don't worry about it, because I don't buy my furniture either. I actually lease it. So I'm actually doing a rent to rent on my furniture as well. So let me go through that again. There's no deposit, there's no rent up front, and I'm not buying my furniture. So what are my costs up front? Well, the furniture is going to cost me 140, 150 quid. I'm not paying anything to the landlord. So realistically, you can actually set up your service department for 140 to 150 pounds because you can lease everything else. You can outsource everything else. So for people that are looking to get into a property strategy but don't have the money to do it, it's absolutely perfect. It's very, very cash effective. It's positive cash flow in your bank before you start paying to the landlord anything. Another reason to get involved in rent to rent. This is not my strategy to do holiday market, but it's Abby's strategy. So why does Abby do rent to rent? Well, what Abby's very cleverly done is she set up service departments in places that she likes to go on holiday. So let's just talk about her two that she's got in the Peak District. She's got gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous two-bedroom apartments in a beautiful block in the Peak District. Now, Abby probably spends two weekends out of the month there. So she's making money from our service departments, plus she's using it as a holiday home. So if you're sitting there thinking, do you know what? I would like a holiday rent to rent in Spain, or I'd like a rent to rent in Glasgow. Not sure why you choose Glasgow, but these are things that you can do to not just generate money, you can actually use them to go on holiday with your family. And how cool would that be? Picking a location that you absolutely love, that you can make money from, that you can also go on holiday for free. That's what I call a quality business. Not having an asset. So people think assets are great because they're going to appreciate over time, which is very, very true. But there's some downsides to holding an asset as well. And let's talk about the maintenance of a property, because when you do rent to rent, you're managing that property. You're using a management agreement. So what happens if something goes wrong with the boiler, or let's say something goes wrong with the plumbing, or there's structural issues with the building? Whose responsibility do you think that is to sort? Well, it's not you as the rent-to-renter. That's the landlord's problem. So if there's a major issue, if the boiler needs replaced or anything like that, that's up to the landlord. So you've got a massive benefit there. Controlling the asset rather than owning it in some cases is a really good strategy. It means you don't have a lot of maintenance to pay out. Don't get me wrong, if someone damages your property just like a guest might do, you've also got to get that fixed. But if you know, you should also have the correct insurance in place for it. Scalability. I've went from 0 apartments to 37 service departments within a 2.75 year period. Every business that I get involved in, I want to be able to scale. And that's one of the things that excites me. I don't know if you can tell from this, but I'm quite an excitable guy. And what drives and motivates me is being able to scale businesses. And tell me another business that you can go out there and get 37 apartments within a space of 2.5 years to 2.75 years. The money you can generate, or the business that you can build within a very short space of time is phenomenal if you do it correctly. Not everybody wants to scale this business. I've worked with people that just want an extra £1,000 to £2,000 a month, and I totally get that. Being a big service department operator might not be for everybody. But if you want to generate or get to the business to a level when you're just making an extra £1,000, £2,000 a month, and that can change your life because it can change some people's lives, it's a perfect opportunity. But if you're sitting there and you're going to think, I want to be creating 6-7 figures, you can also do that through this business. I know a couple people that have went and generated or got apartments in the hundreds. I know people that are all operating service departments in the hundreds. So this is why I think it's great. You can go an extra couple grand, or you can go and make your tens or hundreds of thousands every single month. Time. There's one excuse that people give me all the time, and it's I do not have the time. And it might be I don't have the time to set up the apartment. It might be I don't have time to run the apartment. I've got 37 apartments. Guess how long I spend in my business? 15 minutes to 30 minutes per day, if that. I have outsourced everything. I mean everything. I couldn't tell you who's in my apartments just now. I've not even seen the last 15 apartments that we've set up. My team have done it for me. The great thing about this, you can outsource absolutely everything. I always tell people my passion is not property. My passion is training, helping and educating people. I am not interested in being involved in the day-to-day runnings of a service department business. So if that's someone like you, your goal might not be to train and educate people, but it might be to spend more time with your family, your friends, go on a holiday, do other ventures. This is absolutely perfect because you can generate quality cash flow every single month while working 15 minutes to 30 minutes per day in the business. I do not know any other business that can be so systemized, done correctly, that you can earn the money that you can from rent to rent and work so little in the business. It's absolutely phenomenal. So there are my top tips of why I think you should get involved in rent to rent. Thank you.